Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to a weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 45th COT report of 2020. And as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. And you can see we've got cocoa on top of our list with a 15% change. And there's a 13% change in large speculators. Now these changes are larger than average. There's no question about that, but nothing unusually, large. And by the way, this signal is coming after we've seen a price rise. So I usually like COT change signals right after, let's say we got that signal at that point. So when there's a decline and we have a signal pointing in the opposite direction, that's a beautiful COT change signal. That's not the case right now, but doesn't mean that prices cannot further increase their strength. Switching to the 5 years chart, we can analyze the COT Extreme situation, which is more or less, if you look at the chart, in between the two extremes. So not much of an extreme to talk about. The most bullish extreme back in July of 2017 over there, just after a very long decline in the market. And then we had a beautiful bearish COT Extreme just at that top in February of this year. And we're more or less in between those two extremes. So, this happens. We have to, search for better opportunities elsewhere. I wouldn't consider cocoa to be such an exciting market based on the COT report right now. So moving on to crude oil, the WTI crude oil to be specific, 14% change over there in commercials positions. You can see that change size over there, barely larger than average. Again, not something I'd be acting on. So moving on to the 5 years chart, you can see that we are more or less in between the two extremes, I should say. Not much to talk about, really. So let's just move on and have a look at the gasoline market, where we have a 13% change in commercials positions on this 1 year chart. You can see that it is larger than average. I would say actually small speculators, there was a nice signal over there, 35% change, much greater than average. And if you look at that, look at the 1 year chart, is definitely possibly the largest change in the past 1 year. And of course, this is a bullish COT change signal, by the way. Moving on to the 5 years chart, the extreme is more specific here, closer to bullish extreme levels, like the one in September. We're more or less at those levels, just at that bottom. Managed to push the market a bit higher, but did not really change the trend. So that's that. Moving on to large speculators, COT Extreme. We have the gasoline on top of our list, but we talked about that. So let's open Russian ruble with a 167 report extreme in large speculators, and that is visible over there. This is, of course, a bullish COT extreme. There's no question about that. Large speculators net short, you can see whenever that was the case, that was actually coinciding with a bottom in the market. We have that right now. So it is a clear bullish COT extreme, not necessarily meaning we're going to see prices skyrocketing next week, but we could expect in the medium to long term, couple of weeks, couple of months, a switch in the general trend. New Zealand dollar, 129 report extreme, but this red color means we are talking about a bearish COT extreme signal. And that's the case if you look at the chart, no question about that. This is, of course, a bearish extreme, but doesn't mean that we're going to suddenly see prices fall. We've seen greater extremes in the past. That's something you should always keep in mind, and open the charts and really measure the strength of that extreme signal compared to previous signals in the past. I would say only small speculators are at their extreme levels, really close to all-time extreme levels. So anyways, it's a bearish picture, that's for sure. No question about that. And last but not least, let's open the Brazilian Real with a 31 report extreme in large speculators. So not that big of an extreme. And you can see that on the chart over there. This is a market where we have less COT history. So you can see that going back to 2011. We've seen greater extremes in the past, and we are gradually getting closer to those levels. So there's, of course, plenty of weeks and months ahead of us to reach those extremes, I should say. So really not much to do here in this market. Of course, don't forget these brief reviews are, just to give you a short picture. You can dig deeper and look at all sorts of markets, all the markets that are available at CFTC for the COT data. We show you new CO2 report types and, of course, the other data types as well, not just the futures only, but futures and options. And if you wish, you can also have a look at the options only data, which is very, very unique only here at COT Base. So I appreciate your attention. Thank you very much for being with me. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Goodbye.